good evening to you and welcome. It's Thursday, 31st October 2024. Mental health is real. Seek help. End the stigma. On the news this evening, Rivers NLC threatens action over judgment stopping allocation to state. Rivers Commissioner calls for urgent action in legitimacy cases against Amehule-led assembly. Mother appeals for release of son's body 1 year after protest in Rivers State. Appeal court reserves judgment on IPOB's prescription appeal. On the foreign scene, court lifts order barring swearing in of new Kenyan deputy president. I am Constance Irele Mega. We'll bring you the details of the news after this break. Do stay tuned. And now the news in detail. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) in Rivers State has threatened to withdraw services if any attempt is made to withhold the state's monthly allocation. Well, the Rivers NLC chairman Alex Agwanwo made this known to newsmen in Port Harcourt following a meeting of the NLC State Executive Council. Mr. Agwanwo said the council is dissatisfied with the judiciary's handling of the political crisis in Rivers State, and he said the NLC has resolved to advise the judiciary to reconsider its decision or face action from the union.
As workers, we have the right to protect our welfare and to protect our interests. The government pays us, and if it sees allocation, that means that our workers will not get salary, both at the local government and at the state level. And what that means, even our dependents will suffer. Businesses will crash. So we totally condemn the decision, and we're asking that whichever court that will take us again, either by appeal or whoever, should reverse the decision. And if at any point this decision affects the welfare well-being of our members, NSC Rivers State will have no choice than to withdraw the services of our members. That's our position.
Well, Mr. Agwanwo said the state NLC leadership will soon host members of the National Executive Council at an event that will also include the launch of the federal government's CNG buses provided to Labour leadership nationwide.
The NLC and Labour Congress have also decided they are going to host the first NAC, CWS and NEC meeting outside the Labour House in Abuja. First time in history, such highest organ of meeting of the Labour Congress is going to hold outside Abuja. And the first state that's hosting is Rivers State. So we want to also inform the public that the leadership of NLC all over the country, we are going to play host to them come 5th of November to 9th of November. So we use the opportunity to also invite all lovers of Labour in Rivers.
Correspondent Soebi Oruware reports that the state NLC chairman also thanked Governor Siminalayi Fubara for approving an 85,000 naira minimum wage for workers.
We want to appreciate once again His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, for the approval of 85,000 minimum wage Rivers State civil servants and workers. This is something that I would say it beats our imagination as workers in Rivers State, because it has never happened before. It has given a new face, a new hope to the workers of Rivers State, and we will not take this for granted. We appreciate His Excellency and we pray that God will keep him and protect him in Jesus' name.
In the meantime, the Rivers State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joe Johnson, says the speed with which the Abuja Federal High Court ruled to stop allocations to Rivers State should be applied to the matters challenging the legitimacy of the Martin Amaewhule-led State House of Assembly. Well, Mr. Johnson made the appeal on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire today.
If that speed is deployed, I'm sure that we would have been out of where we are now, because what the judgment is trying to legitimize is to say that Okojumbo is not, but Martins Amaewhule is the authentic. So we'd want a pronouncement so that it will give a proper direction. In being fair to Rivers people, in being fair to dealing with justice, one would expect that the judiciary should help the situation, because where they are going to is trying to use Rivers State as a trigger for anarchy. And we know the consequence of seizing an allocation that is due Rivers people.
On his part, a lawyer, Choma Choko, who also spoke on the program, criticized the National Judicial Council, NJC, for failing to sanction judges who project themselves in a wrong way. He expressed doubt over the ability of the NJC to act, saying that most members of the council are romancing with politicians.
The NJC is there, created as a fallout of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to ensure that any judge that projects himself or herself in a wrong manner is made to face the realities of the sanctions as contained in their council rules. But the question is, who are those that are manning the NJC? Are they different from the courts? Because it is like making a man a judge in his own case. The chairman of the NJC is the Chief Justice of the Federation. So it becomes a problem. It is almost difficult to have them come out publicly to make pronouncements.
Moving on, lawyers in Port Harcourt say the withdrawal of the case by the Martin Amaewhule-led House of Assembly has not erased the evidence previously submitted. As you may know, media reports said the Martin Amaewhule-led Rivers State House of Assembly withdrew a suit filed to restrain INEC from conducting a fresh election to fill their seats following their defection from the PDP to the APC. Well, a lawyer, Chukwu Chinwon, told correspondents that the facts presented in the case are now public record and could be used against them in another matter.
The implication is that they are no more pushing their claim. It may be that they have that false sense of security that don't make it they're holding on to. But the point is that the documents that are filed in that case are still public documents. Those documents are no more valid. No, they cannot destroy the documents of court. Public documents, they remain forever eternal documents of the courts. They depose the case that they defected in essence of their rights. Those are still facts that will remain there for them. Absolutely, anybody can use it against the statement they made in previous proceeding.
But Dr. Chinwon, a law lecturer, expressed disappointment in the judiciary, saying it has allowed itself to be used by politicians. Another lawyer, Eugene Ode, agreed that the assembly cannot avoid the evidence they had submitted, despite withdrawing the case.
They withdrew the suit doesn't mean the facts have been altered. The facts of the case remain intact. Even if they've withdrawn the suit, the facts remain sacrosanct. Especially the facts as deposed by they themselves. Those facts can be relied on anytime. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The fact that they withdrew the suit does not mean that the facts of the case have been altered. The facts remain the same.
Mr. Ode also explained reasons why the Martin Amaewhule-led assembly approached the court to stop INEC from conducting by-elections to fill their seats.
And Edison Ehe became speaker at that time. And the first thing he did when he assumed office as speaker was to declare those seats vacant. And there is no court of law in Nigeria that has set aside that declaration by Edison Ehe as at today, as we are speaking today. Okay? Until that order declaring those seats vacant is set aside, which was the reason why the 27 lawmakers rushed to the Federal High Court to stop INEC from conducting the by-election. So if they themselves believed that their seats were not vacant, there was no need for them to even go to the Federal High Court to ask INEC not to conduct a by-election.
In another development, the PDP in Rivers State says its attention has been drawn to A malicious news item aired this morning by one Emmanuel Bekwele Mchukwu. Mr. Chukwu in the news said he was appreciating the PDP chairman Chukwuemeka Aaron for his support for the Obiakpo local government area chairman Chijioke Ihuo and the Ward 14 councillor in Obiakpo on their election victories. But the PDP chairman Aaron Chukwuemeka, in a statement signed by the publicity secretary Kenneth Yowika, said the statement is baseless and the PDP strongly opposed the 5th October local government elections. But Dr. Yowika said the state's PDP chairman clearly said the party would not participate in the election and would not stoop so low and engage in any unethical or illegal activities related to an election that a court already declared invalid. But he said the state PDP chairman does not know Mr. Bekwele Mchukwu and would not be involved in such schemes, which he described as deceitful. And he urged individuals like Mr. Bekwele Mchukwu to stop misinforming the public and to also retract the statements, as their intentions, along with those of his cohorts, were to tarnish the image of Mr. Chukwuemeka Aaron, which they say have failed. Still to come, mother appeals for release of son's body 1 year after protest in Rivers State. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. The family of Onyekachi Ugiri, a 27-year-old allegedly shot by police during an October 31st protest in 2023 against Governor Siminala Ifubara's impeachment, claims they have not received his body a year later. In an interview, Onyekachi's mother, Kalista Ugiri, said the family has only a video clip of his body lying in a pool of blood, which they found online. And she appealed to the Rivers State Police Command to release his body so they can hold a proper burial for their child. She described the past year as a painful and difficult period for the family.
Onyekachi is the one that is helping us. He is the one that is finding food for me and my children, paying house rent for all of us. But now I don't have any help to help. My husband self is no well. He get accident in there for village. Not only me they gather for these 4 children now where they go school. I beg the governor, I beg you. I need that my pikin dead body so that we will carry am go village. We go and bury him. We go tell the police people anywhere they bury that my pikin, make they show us where they bury am.
Mrs. Ogiri also said after the incident, the state government sent the chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Chijioke Ihunwo, to visit the family, and they were promised financial support. But the family is yet to receive any assistance.
I know that the governor has sent Chijioke Ihunwo to come and see us. They come say sorry for us. But I know the governor is a good man. He will remember us, remember me and my family. I still have people. Please help me. For 1 year now, no way for me. This is hard for me. Even though their school fees, everything is hard for me and my family. Now, my husband is not well. And me too, it's only me.
Recall that on the day of Onyekachi's death, over 100 youths protesting the governor's impeachment were arrested and detained at the state's Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department in Port Harcourt. And 2 days after the event, the then Commissioner of Police, Emeka Polycarp Nwonyi, denied claims that Onyekachi or anyone else had been hit by police bullets. In another development, a security expert, Efe Wanogo, is calling for a shift in Nigeria's security approach. Mr. Wanogo, in an interview with correspondent Emeka Otuka, described the Nigerian police force and other security agencies as low-hanging fruits for job seekers. He said security roles should be driven by passion, not profit. Well, his comments follow recent complaints about increased police checkpoints and alleged extortion along the Guruta-Chokocho Road in Eche local government area.
There would have been a law and order reform in the country, starting with the police force. This has not happened. If you weed out the bad eggs in the police force, you set the standard and you ensure proper consequence management. This whole issue about smearing the image of security and law enforcement officers and agents will be a thing of the past. Of course, we have bad eggs, but it should be so negligible that we cannot now denigrate the entire image of the organization. But that is not the case we have today. If the government of the day decides that they want to do a reform for the security sector, it should be very easy for us to begin to see results. You will see that extortion will stop at the police divisions, in our checkpoints, on the highways. Public extortions will stop.
As you may know, on Tuesday, the Rivers State Police Command arrested 3 female officers extorting money from motorists at the Rumokoro flyover axis. The Court of Appeal Abuja has reserved judgment in an appeal filed by the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, challenging its proscription as a terrorist organization by the federal government. A 3-man panel of the court, led by Justice Hamma Barka, adjourned the matter for judgment after the federal government and IPOB, through their respective lawyers, adopted their final briefs of argument. Recall that the High Court proscribed IPOB on the strength of a motion that the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, filed on behalf of the federal government on the 15th of September 2017. In other news now, the Rivers State University Alumni Association, Rivers State branch, has announced its new executive council for 2024. A statement by the Electoral Committee Chairman, Emenike Amadi, and Secretary Kate Powe said the new leadership is headed by Nchelem Wolu Elenwo, who was elected chairman. Harold Orji will serve as vice chairman, with Juliet Ofoni as the general secretary and Comfort Kabari as the assistant secretary. Other positions include Christiana Henry Dibe as treasurer, Egop Gogo as financial secretary, and Beauty Dami Biabo Ogolo taking on the role of welfare officer. Also, the organizing secretary position goes to Nice Takiri, while the public relations officer is Joseph Charles Wike. Victor Angeles has been appointed as the auditor. The news continues after this break. Stay tuned.
Do not pull the ladder.
We
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Kenya's High Court today lifted orders barring the swearing-in of newly appointed Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, whose predecessor has launched legal challenges over his removal from office by impeachment. And that's the news. But before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you heard that the Rivers NLC has threatened to withdraw services over a judgment stopping allocation of federal government allocations to Rivers State. And the Rivers State Commissioner for Information wants action in the legitimacy cases against the Martin Amehule-led assembly. Appeal court has reserved judgment on IPOB's prescription appeal. And on the foreign scene, a court has lifted the order barring the swearing-in of the new Kenyan deputy president. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Irele Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.